Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is Don't Talk Sports. My name is Dylan. In today's video, what we're going to be doing is we're going to talk about Bryce Young and why I feel like it's almost time to pretty much face the facts that Bryce Young needs to get the fuck out of town, get the hell out of Carolina, because Carolina Panthers, I'm not going to lie, is ruining his career. Bryce Young was once this quarterback that won a Heisman Trophy with Alabama. Everybody was saying this guy is going to be a generational talent. He's going to be one of the best quarterbacks we've seen play in the NFL in a long time. He was already one of the greatest, great players we've seen in college football. Like I said, won a Heisman Trophy. The playmaker and the way how he had arm angles to throw the ball, the just crazy breakdown plays that he was able to turn in from take nothing and turn it into something at Alabama. Now the Carolina Panthers, we thought he was going to be able to bring that to Carolina, and he has just been a complete mess. Now, the one thing I would like to point out, the reason why I say he needs to get the hell out of Carolina, because you could always look at this and you could say, well, maybe he just sucks in the NFL. Maybe he's not doing the right things. Maybe he needs to get better. No. Carolina has a track record of ruining quarterbacks. A couple years ago, Sam Darnold, he went there after he left the New York Jets. They tried out Sam Darnold, and they could not fix him. But then look what happened with Sam Darnold. He goes to the San Francisco 49ers. He sits, he learns for a year. Now he's with the Minnesota Vikings with Kevin O'Connell, and he's looking pretty good. They look good. They beat the 49ers. They're 2-0 right now. Another quarterback that went to the Carolina Panthers from the Cleveland Browns, Baker Mayfield, he got traded there to the Panthers. He thought he was going to be a new home. Didn't work out. They released him. He went to the Rams, sat, learned, played with the Rams for a few games, got better, went to the Buccaneers, and look what happened. He went to the playoffs, won a playoff game. Now this year, they're currently 2-0, looking pretty good. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, Bryce Young has the offensive coordinator that Baker Mayfield had in Tampa, Dave Canales, as his head coach. Last time I checked, Dave Canales literally just benched Bryce Young for Andy Dalton. Now, there's a whole lot we got to get into, so we're going to go and get straight into this now. As always, all information you're going to be seeing on screen whenever it comes to articles, stats, different things like that, I'll have it all linked down in the description below, so if you want to go check it out for yourself, feel free. But I'm going to go and get straight into this. If you're going to enjoy it, as always, make sure you go and drop a like on today's video. Be very much appreciated if you do so. But without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, as you can see here from this website here, it comes from a Cat Crave, basically a Carolina Panthers fan page. They're kind of talking about, like I said, insider revelations outline Bryce Young's fury at the Carolina Panthers benching him. Now, obviously, no player wants to be benched. That's pretty much obvious in any sport out there. But in the coaching staff's mind, they're thinking of this as, well, we're calling the right plays. The plays are there. Maybe they're going back and watching film. They can see the plays are there. Everything's, receivers getting open, running lanes are open. Maybe they could have checked to a run, different things like that. And in their eyes, they just think, Bryce Young's the problem, or he's not doing it right. So far, as you see, usually when you have a team that's losing, you would think, well, is it the offense, the defense, special teams? Is it maybe receiver core needs to get better? Is it the quarterback? And in their eyes, they think Bryce Young's the problem because, as you can see, Chargers game, they put up 3 points. Saints game, they put up 10 points. Now, the Saints game, you can't put that completely on Bryce Young. If they're looking at this game and be like, that's the turning point, Bryce, you got to play better. You're only putting up 10 points and you think you're just going to win this game. How about you tell your defense not allow almost near 50 points? It's like, I get it. He's not scoring a lot of points, but how about you try getting a confident defensive coordinator out there and try limiting a team to maybe 17 max points? Now, something that's interesting with the Carolina Panthers, when they drafted him, they had the choice between quarterbacks of Bryce Young and CJ Stroud. Look how CJ Stroud's doing. A question I always see come up is, do the Panthers look like the biggest idiots not drafting CJ Stroud? How do we know that CJ Stroud would have done good in this Carolina Panthers offense? How do we know they wouldn't have ruined him? And if Bryce Young went to the Texans, he would have been thriving over there. Because Bryce Young literally could have, this is pretty much a toss-up of like, whoever got drafted to the Panthers was going to suck. Now, when Bryce Young was benched, it says here, quote, Bryce Young was not only shocked by the decision, but also upset. Quote, he is pissed, a source said. Fiery is not Young's style, and while his poise was considered a strength coming out of Alabama, and still can be one, his calm demeanor can be portrayed by some as a lack of urgency. So to kind of summarize, I guess what they're trying to say is, Bryce Young is a very cool, calm, collected, chilled, laid-back kind of guy, and when he is voicing his opinion, he's not happy like this, you know he's pissed. Now let's go through some 4 more quarterbacks that have played for the Carolina Panthers. As you can see, we have Baker Mayfield. These are Baker Mayfield's stats throughout his entire career, and we'll kind of go over them. Now, obviously, Cleveland, he had some good numbers, but what we're most importantly looking at is his time with Carolina versus how he is now. As you can see with Carolina, he played in 6 games total. He started in 6 of them. He had 1,300 yards. He had 6 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Not the greatest stats in the world for what, I guess, Carolina was hoping for. Because when they looked at Baker Mayfield, they said, where is this quarterback? The guy that was throwing near 35, 36, 3,700 yards, having great seasons, even though he did get injured in the 2021 season. They were hoping he would have came back and been a lot better. In that time with Carolina, they went 1-5. He ended up getting benched. I believe he was released. I believe week 8, 9, 10, somewhere in there is when he got released, I think. He went to the Rams. They didn't do well either. They were having a bit of a down year. Things were not going good there. But he went to the Rams in his first game there. He was able to just rock out, lead a game-winning drive with them. And then what happened to Baker Mayfield once he went somewhere that's going to buy into him and he has a home? He went to Tampa Bay. And look what he did with Dave Canales, the quarterback that is a guy that's coaching Bryce Young now in Carolina. He put up 4,000 yards, 28 touchdowns, only 10 interceptions. He had a 64% completion percentage. So he had a pretty good year. Like I said, they went to the playoffs. They won a playoff game. And now this year, he's currently already 2-0, like I said, has 474 yards passing total. He had the 5 touchdowns and 1 interception. So he's pretty much off to a good start to kind of repeat what he did last year. And the other quarterback that was drafted in the 2018 draft class, Sam Darnold, he also was in Carolina. Like I said, he was in Carolina whenever Baker got there. As you can see, he put up some not good numbers. So far, like I said, went to the 49ers, sat, learned, got a few moments to kind of go out there. I think the very last game of the season he got to start, and he did good. Then as you can see with the Minnesota Vikings, he started off to 476 yards. He has 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Right now, I just did the quick math. I believe he's on pace for almost near 4,000 yards passing and probably up around 30 touchdowns. Like, he's on pace to have a very good year this year with the Vikings. And also, I don't even think it matters if they're winning or losing. He's just on pace whenever it comes to a statistical standpoint. He's going to have a great year. Now, after going through all that, reading all the stats, kind of covering all my points of quarterbacks that have left Carolina, and you can probably already be asking the questions, well, you're kind of bringing up points of, like I said, Dave Canales, former offensive coordinator with Baker Mayfield. He's the head coach of Bryce Young. So if he helped Baker Mayfield, shouldn't he be helping Bryce Young? And if he's there and he's coaching Bryce Young the same way that he coached Baker Mayfield, shouldn't Bryce Young be getting better? You can say that. That's a good argument. But I would say this. Is it Bryce Young that sucks, or is Dave Canales trying to coach Bryce Young like he coached Baker Mayfield? The problem is you can't coach two guys the same exact way when they have different play styles. You look at Bryce Young, the way how he can scramble around, get open. Baker Mayfield's not that kind of guy. Baker Mayfield's going to stay in the pocket. He'll scramble if he needs to, but he's not a quick, agile, running down the field kind of guy like Bryce Young. Bryce Young, he would cook Baker Mayfield in a 40-yard dash, and Baker Mayfield would admit it. I think another reason why the Panthers are just constantly struggling, I guess 2 things. One is kind of wrapped up all into one, and another one is a whole separate thing on its own. Number one, the thing that's kind of jumbled all together, offensive line and receivers. Mainly the offense. Like I said, defense, we already know, like I pointed out earlier, they are trash. They need to get fixed. But the offensive line is not blocked for Bryce Young. They cannot give him even a second to just read a defense and figure out where to throw the ball to. And the receivers, who the hell does he got to throw the ball to? Chosen Anderson, Robin Anderson, whatever his name is. Is he even with the team anymore? Like, who is Bryce Young going to throw the ball to? He has no offense around him. It's almost like the owner is just thinking, man, all these analysts said this guy, Bryce Young, is going to be a generational talent. He's going to be the greatest thing ever. I want him as my quarterback. We're going to draft him. He's going to be the guy. Well, how's that working out for you, bud? Because clearly Bryce Young fucking stinks. Now, I keep on going back and forth with this. Like, is it Bryce Young? Is it the Panthers? I really don't know what it is. One saying I've kind of been told by people in the NFL world is that when you see a team that's sucking, but you look at the quarterback play, and when the quarterback, he's trying, he's playing okay, and you think, oh, well, he's not that bad, but it's like the team's like 4-13, 3-14, they're just struggling all the time. That's a sign that the quarterback has some skill, but they're just not going to be there for you. Or more importantly, the quarterback is just not it, basically. But when you see the team just utterly fucking reek of stink, meaning quarterback play is trash, the whole team is trash, that is not only because the quarterback is struggling, but because the team is not helping the quarterback. And that is where the Carolina Panthers are right now. They are not helping Bryce Young. They are not doing anything out there to give him some assistance. It's like they just think Bryce Young's going to go out there and just do it all because, hey, didn't you want a Heisman? Go be a Heisman. Now, for Bryce Young, where he could go, there's a couple of spots out there. There's been mentioned names of the Raiders maybe could go after him. I've seen the Dolphins right now. Maybe they should trade for him since Tua's going to be out for a while with a head injury. And with Bryce Young now getting benched, his trade value is pretty much plummeted. And it seems like with the Panthers, like I said, them going with Andy Dalton, benching Bryce Young for Andy Dalton, it seems like they're pretty much done with Bryce Young at this point. I just feel like for Bryce Young, at any point whenever it comes to this year or in the offseason, if there's ever any discussions with the owner, the general manager, anybody with the Panthers, and they pretty much say, do you still want to be here? He needs to speak up right there and just be like, get me the fuck out of here. Let me go somewhere else. Just cut me. I don't care. You don't have to take any dead money. Just anything to get me out of here. And I'm going to go find another place. Even if I have to go sit on the bench and just learn as a backup, I'm going to go somewhere where they have a good quarterback. I'll learn behind a good quarterback. And hopefully, maybe I can go somewhere else then and be something in the NFL. But here in Carolina, you're just dying. There's always been the saying of different teams in the NFL from, like I said, with the Panthers right now. In the past, it was Cleveland Browns, but there was always been a team, always been a team in the NFL where it's like, if you go to that team, your career's over. And right now, it's Carolina Panthers, and I'm telling you now, if Bryce Young doesn't get the fuck up out of Carolina, his career's over. But other than that, I think I'm going to wrap up there. Hopefully, you guys are going to enjoy today's video. If you did enjoy it, as always, make sure you go and drop a like on today's video. be very much appreciated to do so. If you wanted to watch the entirety of today's video, thank you very much. And like I said, if you have a different opinion, do you agree or disagree with anything I said? Do you think Bryce Young needs to get the hell out of Carolina? Do you think he should stay? Do you think he could fix his career there in Carolina? Whatever your opinion may be, if you're a Carolina Panthers fan or a Bryce Young fan, whatever kind of fan, if you want to go ahead and leave your complete opinion down in the comment section down below, I'm more than welcome to kind of talk about with you guys. If you're a fan of the content that I do poster and you want to go and hit that big red subscribe button, feel free to do so. And do not forget to hit that little notification bell to be notified so I can post. But without further ado, this has been Don Talk Sports. Have a great day. Peace.